12 seconds. Representative Ted Lieu said 7 words. And those 7 words froze the courtroom. You lied under oath. Then he lifted a document, a formal witness statement the FBI took in 1995. The evidence sitting on the table at the moment, Attorney General Pam Bondi said, there is no evidence. Bondi's reaction was not a dodge. There was an explosion. Never accuse me of a crime. This is the story of that moment. February 11th, 2026. House Judiciary Committee, 11:47 a.m. Bondi had been testifying for about 2 hours. The Epstein files had dominated every question: redactions, protected names, violations of victim privacy. Bondi had clashed with multiple Democratic members, fended off every inquiry, and maintained control. Then it was Ted Lieu's turn. Who is Lieu? Former Air Force JAG officer, constitutional law attorney, prosecutor. One of those who didn't ask a question they didn't know the answer to. And that day, he had documents in his hand. It all started with Prince Andrew. He removed the photos that were included in the Epstein files recently made public. Photos that made headlines around the world showing Andrew with one of Epstein's victims. These 2 photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime, Lieu said, and more than enough to launch an investigation into former Prince Andrew. He paused. Then I ask you, Attorney General Bondi, why did you close this investigation last July? And why was there no prosecution against Prince Andrew? When Bondi avoided answering and passed the ball to former Attorney General Merrick Garland, Lieu moved on to the next document instead of waiting. Like Prince Andrew, Donald Trump also attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein, Lieu said. And a video was played in the courtroom, Trump and Epstein, at the same party. 2 names, smiling, talking, framed together. Despite being public for years, the footage shown for the first time at a congressional hearing in front of an attorney general silenced the room, as Lieu, in a calm and controlled voice, asked whether there were underage girls present at that party, or any party, attended by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. At this point, the situation took a different turn. A simple question, directly framed. Did Trump find himself in the same environment as underage girls at these parties or not? The Attorney General either knows this or doesn't. Either there is evidence in the Epstein files or there isn't. While Bondi was expected to respond, she remained silent. And that 5-second silence during the congressional hearing felt less like a denial and more like the absence of a denial, before finally turning the question back on the questioner and raising her voice, saying they were trying to distract from the good things Donald Trump had done, followed by a brief pause. There's no evidence that Donald Trump committed a crime. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. But there is a striking detail here. No evidence. There is no evidence. Everyone knows this. Testimony given under oath, on record, in the records. The venue was ready. I will put another document in front of you, he said. His tone had changed, sharper, more sensitive. He had switched to prosecutor mode. Because I believe you lied under oath. As the chamber erupted, not with sound, but with tension, everyone in the room grasped the situation. And a sitting congressman accused the sitting attorney general of lying under oath in front of the camera and on record. Bondi's face went through multiple expressions in seconds: shock, anger, something close to panic, then pure anger. "Don't you ever accuse me of a crime," he shouted. He really shouted. His voice cracked. Chairman Jim Jordan was striking the gavel. He was trying to restore order. No one was listening. Lieu remained calm. He was methodical. It was devastating. "It's all on video," he said. "You said there was no evidence. I'm showing you a witness statement." He lifted the document. He allowed the camera to capture it. He let everyone see that it was real. And this changed the course of the trial. Lieu revealed the document. It is reported that in the testimony of a limousine driver from 1995, Donald Trump was heard talking on the phone with someone he referred to as Jeffrey, discussing the abuse of a young girl. He paused and emphasized that the driver was disturbed by this conversation and called the FBI in 1995, long before Jeffrey Epstein's arrest in 2019, and the Epstein Florida plea deal in 2008. The FBI took the driver's statement, recorded it, filed it. And according to Lieu's claim, a claim that has not been officially verified, the Justice Department, under Bondi, never interviewed this witness, never followed up. He never investigated.
Lieu was not finished. The same witness told the FBI this, he said. He said he knew a woman who claimed she was abused by Epstein. That woman was later shot in the head. The audience held their breath. And the police conducting the investigation concluded that this death may not be a suicide. A witness, someone who says they heard Trump discussing abuse, was someone named Jeffrey. Someone who knows a woman who claims to be an Epstein victim. That woman died under suspicious circumstances. Police have concluded that it may not be suicide. And the Justice Department never interviewed this witness. No one from the Justice Department has spoken to this witness, Lieu said. You need to interview this witness immediately. You need to meet with this witness immediately. The main critical point was this. Bondi had just stated under oath that there was no evidence that Donald Trump had committed a crime. But Ted Lieu had just put on the table an official witness statement taken by the FBI in 1995, showing that although it was not a direct criminal accusation, it constituted documented and investigable evidence. Law professor and former prosecutor Bennett Gershman said, if the evidence contradicts Bondi's statement, it could constitute perjury. Bondi has no special immunity. Every witness who makes a false statement under oath can be charged with perjury. But this claim is an unverified assessment. It is still unclear whether the legal process will proceed. Bondi's defenders immediately stepped in. They said that the phrase "no evidence" means prosecutable evidence. They argued that the witness statement was unverified. They argued that the FBI could receive and file any report and that this would not be considered evidence. Maybe some of these arguments are valid, but there is a problem. If the witness is not reliable, investigate and prove it. If the testimony is unreliable, interview him and determine. If there is an innocent explanation for Trump's 1995 remarks, get Trump's own explanation and record it. But you can't say there's no evidence if you haven't investigated the existing evidence. The collision continued. Bondi was shouting. Lieu was calm and methodical. The other members were trying to intervene. Jordan was striking the hammer repeatedly. But beneath the noise lay a simple contradiction. Bondi under oath, no evidence. Lieu presented a 1995 FBI witness statement that had been taken and filed but not investigated. This allegation warranted an inquiry, even if it was not direct evidence of a crime. Maybe it's not prosecutable evidence, but it is evidence. And no evidence is not the same as insufficient evidence. Under oath. When Lieu delivered his closing remarks, his voice was quiet but firm. There are over 1,000 victims of sex trafficking in Epstein's files, he said, and you haven't held a single man accountable. Over 1,000 victims, over 1,000 women and girls, documented. Based on the information available in the files, according to Lieu, although Ghislaine Maxwell was prosecuted under the previous administration, the Justice Department under Bondi did not bring charges against any co-conspirators, clients, or facilitators. 0 arrests, 0 indictments, 0 prosecutions. Lieu looked directly at Bondi. Yaziklar Olsen Sana. If you had even a shred of honor,
you would resign immediately after this trial. If you had even a shred of honor, you would resign immediately after this trial. The clip went viral within minutes. "Don't you ever accuse me of a crime" instantly became a meme. It was shared on every platform. But beneath the viral moment, there was a more serious picture. A congressman had accused an attorney general who testified under oath of perjury. He had shown an official FBI document while doing so. The document was real. The contradiction was real. Bondi's options for defense were limited. If she claimed she was unaware of the witness statement, it would mean admitting incompetence in her role as Attorney General, as not knowing it would imply a failure in her oversight of the release of the Epstein files. If he says the witness is unreliable, he would have to explain why he never investigated. The claim of unreliability from the investigation does not hold. If he says that no evidence means no prosecutable evidence, it raises a serious question about the sensitivity of the language used under oath. The third option seems the safest. But even the safest option doesn't fully align with the testimony given under oath.
Now look at the entire table. A limousine driver called the FBI in 1995. He said he heard Trump discussing abuse with someone named Jeffrey. The FBI took his statement and filed it. The same driver said he knew a woman who claimed to be an Epstein victim. The woman died under suspicious circumstances. No one spoke to this witness for 30 years. In February 2026, the Attorney General testified under oath that there was no evidence. And in the same hearing, a congressman presented that witness statement. And while none of these are definitive conclusions, all the pieces are recorded and create a public record. And the only thing that is constantly missing from this picture is an investigation. Lieu noted in a record that Bondi said no evidence under oath, and the FBI witness statement is now public. The contradiction between the two has been documented, and if the Department of Justice does not interview this witness, it would mean they are obstructing the investigation. If the witness is interviewed and found credible, Bondi's no evidence statement takes on a different dimension. If the witness is interviewed and their evidence is not found to be credible, it should be recorded as such. But the one thing that cannot happen is this: nothing at all. There is documented evidence that contradicts the sworn statement. This contradiction cannot go unaddressed. 12 seconds. It was enough for Ted Lieu to say something that could potentially end Pam Bondi's career. Yeminli olarak yalan söyledin sanırım. 7 words. 7 words backed by an FBI document. A 1995 document, uninvestigated, now public. Bondi said, "There's no evidence." Lieu put evidence on the table. This contradiction is on record, and the only question is whether this contradiction will have any consequences.